So hello everyone, in this video we'll see what is the operation of the class B amplifier and what is the efficiency of a will derive what is the efficiency of a class B amplifier. So as I said in the previous video, so class B amplifier is class B power amplifier is one that produces only half of the output for a full input signal. That is, for a full input signal we get only the half cycle of the output. Okay, so either it can be for the full signal, either you can get a positive cycle or you can get a negative half cycle. Okay, so this is class B amplifier. And also we have discussed that for the class B amplifier, so the Q point, so that is if we write VCE versus IC, this is the DC, the Q point lies on the x-axis. Okay, so that the current, that is collector current, will only for a full half cycle of for a full input signal. The collector current will flow only for a half cycle for a full cycle of input. Okay, so since it is lies in the x-axis, that is the collector current will only flow for a half cycle, either for the positive half cycle or for the negative half cycle. Okay, so now to get a full cycle, so for the full cycle of input we need full cycle of output at a class B amplifier. Okay, so to get a full cycle across the load, so we use a pair of transistor in a class B operation. So we use a pair of transistor. So this is only when we use only one transistor. Okay, so to use to get a full cycle across the load, we use a pair of transistor. Okay, so suppose, so we'll see what happens. So we are giving a full cycle input and we are using pair of transistor. Okay, so one transistor, so I'll say it as a 1/2 circuit. Okay, that is this circuit will work for one cycle of the input. So this is another half circuit, that is this circuit will work for another half signal. Okay, so these two transistors is connected to the load. Okay, so now for a full cycle of input, that is when the positive half cycle is applied, so the circuit pushes, the one circuit pushes the signal high during 1/2 cycle. That is, for the positive half cycle, this circuit will pushes the signal high, so that what we'll get at the output will get 1/2 cycle. That is, for positive half cycle this transistor will work, this transistor will conduct and this transistor will be off, so such that we get the positive half cycle. Okay, for the negative half cycle, this cycle will be off and this cycle will on, sorry, this transistor will on, such that we get a negative half cycle at the load. So this circuit will conduct for positive half cycle and remain off for the negative half cycle. This circuit will conduct for the negative half cycle and remain off during the positive half cycle, so that at the output will get both the signal, both the half cycle. Okay, so since it is called so since the for positive half cycle, this transistor will push the signal high, and during the negative half cycle this circuit, this transistor will pull the signal low. That is why it is called push-pull amplifier or push-pull class B amplifier. Okay, so one signal for the positive half cycle, one transistor will push the signal high. For the negative half cycle, this another transistor will pull the signal low. That is why it's called push-pull amplifier. Okay, so as you know, we have two types of transistor. One is PNP and second one is NPN. Okay, so depending on the transistor we use, we have two types of push-pull amplifier. Okay, when both are same, that is when both are PNP, when we use 2 PNP, or when both are NPN, that is when we use 2 NPN, it is called transformer coupled class B amplifier. Transformer coupled coupled class B push pull amplifier. Okay, so when we use combination, that is one is PNP and another one is NPN, then it is called complementary push pull amplifier. Okay, so push pull amplifier of two types depending on the what kind of transistor we use, that is PNP or NPN. So when both the transistor are PNP or NPN, it is called transformer coupled class B push pull amplifier. When both the transistor are of different types, that is when either one is PNP and another one is NPN, it's called complementary push pull amplifier. Okay, so now we'll see the working of a transformer coupled class B push pull amplifier. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram of a class B transformer coupled amplifier. So here two transformers has been used. So one at the input side called the driver transformer, other at the output side called the output transformer. Okay, so the input signal applied to the base of the transistor Q1 and Q2 will be 180 degree out of phase. So both the transistor will have input at 180 degree out of phase. For the positive half cycle, Q1 will conduct and I1 current will flow. For the negative half cycle, Q2 will conduct and I2 current will flow, and at the output side you will get load IL. Okay, so this is the diagram, the waveform of the transformer coupled class A amplifier. Okay, so I1, you can observe for I1 it is for positive half cycle, so you will get only positive half cycle. Okay, for the negative half cycle will be low negative half cycle you don't have. I2 you will get negative half cycle, that is it is like this, so we have written like this. Okay, so at IL will get both positive and negative. Okay, so this is IDC. So DC, this is the DC current IDC what we apply at the input, that is 2 Im by pi. Okay, so this is we'll derive what is the efficiency of a this transformed coupled amplifier. Okay, so now AC power across the load is given by PAC is equal to VRMS into IRMS. Okay, so what is VRMS? So RMS value of the voltage, that is what is the voltage we apply? VCC. RMS value we usually represent it by √2. What is IRMS? So what is IMS? IM. So what is the RMS voltage? We need to have it by √2 times. Okay, so that is VCC into IM divided by 2. So PAC is VCC into IM divided by 2. Okay, so the DC power is given by PDC is equal to IDC into VCC. So what is IDC? So IDC is 2 Im by pi into VCC. Okay, so now what is efficiency? Efficiency is PAC divided by PDC into 100. Okay, so what is PAC? PAC is VCC into IM divided by 2 divided by what is PDC? 2 Im by pi into VCC into 100. So now IM will get cancelled, VCC will get cancelled. So pi will go to the numerator. So and these 2 and 2 will get multiplied. So pi by 4 into 100 is 78.5 So the efficiency of a class B amplifier is almost 78.5%. Okay, so now we'll see what is complementary class B amplifier. Okay, so the complementary class B amplifier, so as I said, so one is PNP transistor, another one will be NPN transistor, so that we call it as a complementary symmetry amplifier. So when the input signal is applied to the base of the transistor, a full cycle output we get. Okay, the transistor is of opposite type, so you can see the observe here. So one is NPN, another one is PNP. Okay, so the NPN transistor is biased to conduct for the positive half cycle. Okay, and the PNP transistor is biased to conduct for the negative half cycle. So such that we'll get a full half cycle. That is, so when NPN transistor is working, PNP transistor will be off, and when PNP transistor is working, NPN transistor will be off. Okay, so this you can observe. So here you will get only biased half by the input signal. So for the positive half cycle, so biased on, so this will be biased on, and this will be biased half for the positive half cycle. For the negative half cycle, this will be off and this will be on. Okay, so such that you will get full half cycle at the output side. So when we use a complementary symmetry class B amplifier, that is a pair of transistor which is of opposite type, so there is a chances of distortion, so that we call it as crossover distortion. So that is, so during the signal crossover from positive to negative or from negative to positive, so there is some non-linearity in the output signal. So this is, we call it as a crossover distortion. So such circuit results in a crossover distortion, which means during the signal crossover, that is when the signal is crossing from positive to negative or from negative to positive, there is some non-linearity. So this is due to, so immediately the transistor cannot be on. Okay, so when the NPN transistor is working, so it takes some time for the PNP transistor to get on. Immediately it cannot switch. So there will be a fraction of gap between the switching time between the one transistor to another transistor. So that when the transistor is get to off, so there will be for some time the transistor will be off, so that we call it as a crossover distortion. That is, both the transistor may be partially half, for some time both the transistor may be off. So for the positive half cycle, so if I write here, okay, for the positive half cycle, NPN transistor will be on. Okay, now the PNP transistor should get on and the NPN transistor should be off. So immediately when this is completed, for the positive half cycle is completed, so the NPN transistor will get off and PNP should get on, but there is a time gap where both the transistor will off. So the signal we get maybe like this. So this we call it as a crossover distortion. Okay, so we call it as a crossover distortion. That is when both the transistor are biased or off. So it takes some time to switch from one transistor to another transistor to get on. So that we call it as a crossover distortion. Okay, so this crossover distortion can be overcome by biasing the transistor in class B. So the class B operation, the class B amplifier will overcome this disadvantage. Okay, So now we'll see what is class B. Okay. The crossover distortion can be eliminated by using a complementary output transistor with a small non-zero current. So this is the class B output stage. So the bias voltage is VB applied between the two transistors, that is QN is the NPN transistor and QP is the PNP transistor. Okay, so such that these two transistor is biased with a voltage between the base. At the base we are applied VBB divided by 2, that base voltage divided by 2. The voltage between these two is this much. Okay, now so assuming IN is equal to IP, so we are assuming that IN is equal to IP, that is the current from the NPN transistor is almost equal to the current at the PNP transistor. So that current at IQ, both the transistor is given by IS is equal to E power VBB divided by 2 VT. Okay, the circuit operation is when V1 goes positive by certain amount, that is when V1 is some positive voltage, the voltage at the QN will increases. Okay, when V1 is applied some voltage at the base of QN increases by same amount and the output becomes positive. So such that V0 is equal to V1 is equal to VBB divided by 2 minus VBEN. Okay, for the positive V0 causes a, for the positive, so the current IL to flow through RL. So since we get a positive voltage here, the current IL will flow through RL and IN will increase. So obviously IN should increase. So that IN is given by IN is equal to IP plus IL. Okay, we have said before IN is equal to IP. So how that IN is equal to IP is, the increase in IN will accompanied by VBN increases. So the increase in IN will increases the VBEN. So increase in IN will causes the base emitter voltage to VBEN, that is base emitter voltage of NPN transistor to increase. Okay, since these two, the voltage, the base voltage at the two transistor is maintained constant. Okay, so since VBN increases, this result in equal decrease in VBEP. These two has to be maintained same. The base voltage at both the transistors should be maintained constant. Okay, if IN increases, the base emitter voltage of N will increases. Since this has to be maintained, so if base emitter voltage of one transistor will increase, another transistor will make it to decrease. So hence IP will also decrease. So such that IN and IP is maintained constant. Okay, so this is what class B output amplifier. So the crossover distortion in class B amplifier can be overcome by class B amplifier. Okay, such that both the transistor will, the current at the output of the both the transistor will maintain constant. Thank you.